afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this fake Monday.
Tuesday will be messed up all week. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, very relaxing. Time to reflect.
Do some grilling?
Did some grilling, did some gardening.
Good.
Did some staircasing. The show on HBO.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Is that addictive? So.
You did a little binging then.
And you?
Yeah, it's about the same. Yeah, I did a little hiking and grilling and went to see Top Gun, the new Top Gun movie. That was really good. We're going to get a review from Will Loper in just a little bit.
Lots going on. So
now back to work.
Let's get started. Topping the news today, the first 2 funerals for the victims of that school shooting in Uvalde, Texas was held today. The shooting was a week ago.
President Biden and the chairman of the Federal Reserve sit down to talk about tackling inflation. We'll tell you what economists are watching in the months ahead.
And we are in for a pleasant week ahead. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is standing by with the first warn forecast. Let's take a look outside on this Tuesday. We're looking for maybe some storms later on, but I think the clouds sort of held things in bay. We have the nice weather ahead. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is in the backyard with the latest.
A little cooler coming up, right, Gary?
Yeah, right now we've finally got some sunshine here. It's been cloudy for much of the day. There's a narrow window of opportunity where we can still see a couple of thunderstorms pop up. You can see how on visible cloud track those clouds are starting to thin out, but there's a cold front right about the northwestern portion of Dane County. So once that front comes through, the threat for any kind of thunderstorms will end. The Storm Prediction Center does have us under a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms for something that could pop up over the next couple of hours, but the higher threat is farther to the south into northern Illinois. You can see on Doppler Track there really isn't much out there. So if something happens, it's going to have to happen in the next few hours. Right now, just a couple of sprinkles showing up over parts of northern Illinois. Low temperatures this morning started out mild. Here in Madison, we only dropped to 74 degrees. And you can see right now we're at our high temperature for the day of 81 degrees, although it has been a little warmer out to the west. And dew point temperatures are still in the lower 60s, so enough moisture there to pop up a thunderstorm if we can get one going before the cold front hits here. Otherwise, look for skies to turn partly cloudy overnight, then it'll turn cooler. Tomorrow's high temperature is 71 with partly sunny skies. As we check out first warn traffic, here's the view of the Beltline over by Southtown Drive and West Broadway. There was an accident reported on the eastbound side of the Beltline near Southtown Drive, so traffic is backing up a little bit coming eastbound to Southtown Drive. But heading south of Madison, no problems on I-39-90 heading south of Madison or I-94 east toward Milwaukee. North of Madison, same thing. No problems on I-39, 90, 94 or US 151 into Dodge County. That's your News 3 Now first warn traffic.
All right, Gary, I'll check back in a few minutes. Thank you. First at 4, 2 10-year-old girls from Uvalde, Texas are being laid to rest today.
They are the first of 21 funerals that will take place in the coming days following a shooting at their elementary school. Mourners arrived at the funeral mass for Amerie Jo Garza. She and 18 classmates were killed alongside 2 teachers in their 4th grade classroom 1 week ago today. 10-year-old Mady Rodriguez will also be laid to rest today.
She looks like nothing happened to her. She looks like she died at peace. We all know the reality.
Officials announced last week the school district's police chief held officers outside of the classroom even as students were calling 911 because he believed there was no longer an active attack. Also at the memorial, actor Matthew McConaughey, who grew up in Uvalde. There will be 9 more funerals this week and the rest in the weeks to come.
And that latest shooting in Texas has renewed the conversation over just what kind of gun legislation should be floated.
Madison's U.S. Representative Mark Pocan says he isn't too confident that anything will pass through Congress, but he has hope there may still be some action.
Political reporter Will Keneally spoke with the congressman and has more. Will?
So we've heard a lot about the filibuster recently, stonewalling congressional action, first on abortion legislation, now on gun control. But Congressman Mark Pocan says a razor-thin majority in the House makes it hard to pass legislation in that chamber as well. He says it's now up to Biden to work unilaterally.
He knows the things we got to do. What we have to get them to do is put them into executive orders where they can do things. While they won't be as good as lasting statute, they at least get something in place and we can see how it works.
Pocan threw cold water on the idea of backing legislation Republicans would put forward, saying Democrats won't back a weak bill. This could be increasing security in schools or bills focusing on mental health instead of gun control. Spokane instead pushed for background check legislation and red flag laws, where a judge can take a person's gun away if they are deemed a threat to themselves or others. But Biden says he wants Congress to take the mantle instead of himself. We'll have more on this coming up at 5.
Well, we'll see you then. Thank you. In the Senate, a group of bipartisan senators is working behind the scenes to find common ground on new gun control legislation. Republican Senator John Cornyn and Democratic Senator Chris Murphy are meeting virtually today as they search for a basic framework on gun reform proposals. The two sides are expected to discuss closing background check loopholes and a red flag law that would allow judges to take away guns from people deemed to be at risk. In the aftermath of that school shooting massacre in Texas, President Biden is optimistic some Republicans are willing to act now.
I think there's a recognition in their part that we can't continue like this.
In Canada, the Prime Minister is taking action. Justin Trudeau announced a new proposal to freeze handgun sales and implement a gun buyback program on military-style weapons. If the legislation is passed, Canadians who already own a handgun would be allowed to keep it.
Our Naomi Coles spoke with Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes to get his position on a number of gun issues. On For the Record, you can find a recording on our website, channel3000.com.
The Madison faith community is gathering for a vigil against gun violence in less than an hour. Clergy and members of faith communities will gather at Common Grace for words of remembrance, solidarity, and encouragement to action, along with calls to action. There'll also be policy staff available to answer questions about legislation. Our Brad Hamilton will be live on the scene on News 3 Now at 6. And with Americans facing record high prices heading into summer, the Consumer Confidence Index fell slightly this month.
Today, President Biden met with his top economic advisors and the chairman of the Federal Reserve as he lays out his plan to try to get inflation under control.
Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
From the gas pump
It's really ridiculous.
to the airport, summer travelers cannot escape soaring inflation and higher prices.
Every time we look up the prices, they're getting higher by the day.
President Biden has made addressing inflation his top economic priority, underscored in his Tuesday meeting with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell.
My plan is to address inflation. It starts with a simple proposition: respect the Fed. They have a laser focus on addressing inflation, just like I am.
The Fed chairman has signaled he will continue to support raising interest rates until prices fall to a stable level. The Consumer Price Index hit 8.3% in April, while oil prices ticked up Tuesday after the European Union announced an embargo on most Russian oil imports. In an op-ed, President Biden also detailed his plan to curb inflation, which includes fixing supply chains, improving infrastructure, and paying down the federal deficit.
There isn't a pain-free way of addressing where we're at now.
George Washington University professor Tara Sinclair says right now economists are looking at two possible scenarios for what happens next.
There's arguments that we might be concerned about inflation for some time to come, or that we might be facing a recession in the next 6 to 12 to 18 months.
Professor Sinclair says she believes the picture will become clearer in the next few months, but the real economic impact may not be known until next year. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And President Biden also wrote in his op-ed that he'll continue to work on lowering prices, but he's calling on Congress to pass some of his social agenda items, which include clean energy tax credits, plans to lower prescription drug costs and housing costs, as well as tax code reforms.
Wisconsin's Department of Children and Family Secretary says Sun Prairie is getting a grant from the state's Project Growth. The grant is worth $75,000, but it's unclear exactly what the money will be used for. The community will sit down and attempt to fill in some gaps in the existing child care system in Sun Prairie. Project Growth is hoping to help solve the challenges facing Wisconsin's child care system, as well as bolstering the state's economy.
Because when parents can't find high-quality early care and education options that meet their needs, they can't work. And this is especially true for women in the workforce.
So far, Wisconsin's invested over $824 million in federal relief dollars to stabilize and grow the early care and education system.
The Dane County Medical Examiner has identified the man killed in a car versus semi crash on Highway 14 last week. The crash happened around 11:15 p.m. on Highway 14 near the intersection with Haight Farm Road. 28-year-old Kevin Jose Irias Martinez of Fitchburg died of the injuries he suffered in the crash. Martinez was northbound on 14 when his SUV collided with a semi-truck that was driving southbound. Martinez was ejected from his vehicle and was pronounced dead at the scene.
And we have a traffic note for anyone who uses Highway 30 in Madison. Construction on the highway is scheduled to begin today. The project will repair and resurface the highway between Fair Oaks Avenue and the Interstate. Highway 30 will remain open to traffic during construction with single-lane closures, but the westbound exit ramp to US 51 Stoughton Road will be closed Friday night through Monday morning.
A 103-year-old World War II veteran was inducted into the Madison VA Hospital Hall of Heroes this morning. The Hall of Heroes showcases veterans who served with valor and have a connection to the Madison VA Hospital. First Lieutenant Norman Morozic was joined by his immediate family and hospital leadership as they honored his service to his country and the Madison area. Norman Morozic was awarded a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart for his actions during World War II.
His heroic action was a definite factor in the successful completion of the battalion's mission. The courage, technical skill, and devotion to duty displayed by Lieutenant Morozic reflects great credit upon himself and the military service.
The Hall of Heroes is located on the first floor of the Madison VA Hospital.
Congratulations to him. 103. Wow. Well, still to come at 4, are you still thinking of taking a summer vacation?
Well, thinking about Europe, we'll get some timely travel advice from CBS News when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
How is he still playing?
Aspercream Arthritis, full prescription strength, reduces inflammation. Don't touch my piano.
Kick pain in the Aspercream.
Let's face it, as we get a little older in life, everyday tasks like taking a bath can become challenging. Gain bathing independence with a new tub-to-shower conversion from Mad City Baths.
Oh, it's much easier for him to get in and out of. It's also bigger because we lost the wall and the tub surround, and it just gave us more space, and it's very nice.
Save now during our home makeover event. Save $500 on a new bath or shower. Interest-free financing for 12 months and a $100 Walmart gift card with purchase. But act now and double your savings. Save $1,000 on a new bath or shower. Double your interest-free financing for 12 to 24 months and double your bonus. Receive a $200 Walmart gift card with purchase. From Madison and South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. Let me give you that number again, 608-729-4466.
This is how we do it.
At Pick and Save, we believe it takes the right team to bring you fresh produce. That's why we partner with farmers who grow only the best. And that level of teamwork means better, fresher options time and time again. Because working together is truly what it takes to be fresh for everyone.
To all my neighbors, you got much flavor. This is how we do it.
Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
My dad told me he's back into old hobbies, but it looks like he's picked up new habits for his type 2 diabetes too.
Once weekly Trulicity is proven to help lower A1C, and it can help you lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
Welcome back. For the first time since 2019, the Scripps National Spelling Bee is back fully in person.
But it doesn't come without some major changes this year. In 2020, when the pandemic started, there were 245 sponsors, and now there are 198. Regions have also been consolidated, and the Bee has fewer than half the number of spellers it had 3 years ago. Another big change, Scripps broke with its longtime partner ESPN. So this year, the Bee will be broadcasted on its own networks, Ion and Bounce. If you don't have that, you can stream it at spellingbee.com. The competition's finals will air Thursday this week, June 2nd. At 7 p.m.
You love the Bee.
I love the Bee, and it was usually the only time I would record ESPN. But now it'll be a little trickier to find.
Bounce TV.
Yeah. No, it's always amazing to see these kids. I mean, I never can figure out any of the final
I think Ion is one of the sub-channels on one of the stations here.
Okay, that's good.
All right, it's another choppy day on Wall Street to wrap up an eventful month of May. The Dow Industrials lost 220 points, closing at 32,991. The NASDAQ fell 49. The S&P 500 off 25. Memorial Day weekend was not one to remember for many travelers.
No, thousands of flight cancellations. People were stuck in airports all over the country, and record high gas prices made things a mess. The airlines are struggling trying to handle the surge of travelers.
CBS's Wendy Gillette tells us more.
Travel from the U.S. to Europe could soar as much as 600% compared to last year, according to recent data from Allianz Partners.
The exciting thing for me is the energy is back in Europe.
European travel expert Rick Steves just returned from a 45-day research tour of the continent.
It's just going to be busy. For the first time in my career, I've been recommending you need to make reservations for restaurant dinners.
He also advises figuring out which museums require advance reservations, determining when cruise ships will be docked to avoid places when they're crowded with passengers, and visiting secondary cities.
I mean, everybody goes to the first cities. Edinburgh, why not Glasgow? Everybody goes to Paris. Check out Marseille.
If you're dead set on the hot spots and really want to do it up, consider indulging at a Parisian palace. Not an actual palace, but the French designation for an exclusive category of luxury hotels. Hotel Lutetia is the most recent of 12 Paris properties on the list.
So it's better than a five-star hotel.
The Four Seasons George Cinq made the cut. The brand, which also just opened the San Domenico Palace in Taormina, Italy, in a 14th century convent, has created one of the most famous hotels in the world, thanks to its Michelin-starred restaurants and lavish flower displays.
The flowers that change, every 6-7 weeks. We change the color schemes. We have florists on site too.
You can also stay in a real palace and have the whole place to yourself. It's an option here in Vienna, Austria, at the city's famous Schönbrunn Palace. When the horse-drawn carriages and tourists clear out, you're left inside, staying in an opulent two-bedroom suite with views of the famous gardens.
You can walk around in the park areas all alone, and that is really unique and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We got special rates to check out the hotels. This one starts at $900, so you can feel like royalty, at least for a night. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, Vienna.
I want to hang out with Wendy.
I agree. It's a pretty good gig.
Steve says he avoids the most heavily traveled areas of Europe in the summer, like the Mediterranean, preferring to head north.
We had an opportunity to talk with Wendy this afternoon, and she said domestic travel this summer is going to be very big as well, that a lot of people are going to stay, travel within the country. But if you're going to national parks and things like that, you have to have a reservation.
You have to have a reservation
ahead of time now.
And Japan is still not allowing Americans to visit, so
that's right.
Keep that in mind.
In most European countries, she said, you still have to get a COVID test to come back into the United States.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. All right, there's more to come at 4. It was a big holiday weekend at the box office as well.
2 words say it all. Top Gun. Our film critic Will Loper has the numbers and his review and some viewing suggestions coming up after Gary's First Warn forecast.
I chose Mad City for their great quality and customer service.
The quality and the, lifetime warranty.
They do a good job. Mad City has more than 50,000 satisfied customers. We're A+ rated with the BBB, installing baths, showers, and walk-in tubs in as little as 1 day, with premium wall colors and patterns like Santa Cruz and Othello. Save now during our home makeover event. Save $500 on a new bath or shower. Interest-free financing for 12 months and a $100 Walmart gift card with purchase. But act now and double your savings. Save $1,000 on a new bath or shower. Double your interest-free financing for 12 to 24 months and double your bonus. Receive a $200 Walmart gift card with purchase. From Madison in South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. Let me give you that number again, 608-729-4466.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salonpas.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Violent and destructive riots in Kenosha, the Waukesha Christmas Parade tragedy, record-high homicides in Milwaukee, from defunding our police to releasing violent felons with low or no bail. Liberal Democrats have created the worst crime wave in decades. Senator Ron Johnson is standing with our brave law enforcement officers to keep Wisconsin families safe, and he wants to keep violent criminals behind bars where they belong.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
And I walked right into U.S. Cellular and I said I want to choose any phone in here for free.
What'd he say?
He said, sure. Really nice guy. I had my pick of any phone from any brand, free, even the newest ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got the big screen?
Yeah.
Big storage?
Yeah.
Fits in your pocket?
Fits in my pocket. Yeah, it's a big phone, and that's what I wanted, and I got what I wanted.
At U.S. Cellular, we put you first. So choose any phone free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Oh, love that Chevy Blazer. That's our next SUV. Love that Equinox. That's our next SUV.
Nice Trailblazer.
It was love at first sight. What?
The Chevy family of SUVs. Find new options. Find new roads.
It's Chevy Sport Utility Spring. Well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing or get a $1,000 cash allowance on all 2022 Equinox models. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose, provides the same relief as Zyrtec in a pill nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
We'll take a look at this. Stonehenge, one of England's most iconic monuments, gets a colorful makeover to celebrate Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. Images of the monarch from each decade in her reign have been projected onto the ancient structure. Stonehenge was built by ancient Britons around 2500 BC, and many questions about the origin, the original purpose, are still unanswered.
It is going to be
painting him on there.
No, yeah, no, when I first saw that, they're painting.
What?
No, they're just projections.
It is going to be quite a party over there.
I think, what, Thursday it starts?
Yeah.
70 years.
Yeah. Well, the weather will be nice here. We could celebrate the next couple of days. You have to get past the threat for at least a couple of thunderstorms over the next few hours, but nothing imminent right now. Of the first warn forecast in just a couple of minutes.
Up to 80% of falls in the home happen in the bathroom. Don't struggle with a high-sided step-in tub that could put you in the hospital. Instead, get the accessibility you need with a new walk-in tub or shower from Mad City Baths. Infused with microban protection and backed by a double lifetime warranty. Remember, we install in as little as 1 day, so don't put it off. It's our home makeover event. Save $500 on a new bath or shower, interest-free financing for 12 months, and a $100 Walmart gift card with purchase. But act now and double your savings. Save $1,000 on a new bath or shower, double your interest-free financing from 12 to 24 months, and last chance to call to double your bonus. Receive a $200 Walmart gift card with purchase. Call for a free estimate at 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466. MadCityBaz.com.
Are you suffering from neuropathy? Do you experience stabbing pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your feet? Are you tired of sleepless nights and avoiding life due to pain? If you've been diagnosed with neuropathy or are experiencing pain or numbness in your feet, pick up the phone and call us right now before it's too late. Neuropathy is a very serious and progressive disease where your nerves start to break down. Eventually, it leads to balance problems, falls, complete loss of independence, and often amputation. Our program addresses the underlying causes and doesn't simply mask your symptoms with medication. In fact, many patients start experiencing relief from their neuropathy symptoms within weeks. There's no surgery and no use of prescription drugs. Pick up the phone right now and call the number on your screen to find out if you're a candidate for our neuropathy program that has changed thousands of lives. You don't have to spend another day suffering. Call us today and see if you qualify for the relief you deserve. Do not wait. Call now.
Violent and destructive riots in Kenosha. The Waukesha Christmas Parade tragedy. Record-high homicides in Milwaukee. From defunding our police to releasing violent felons with low or no bail. Liberal Democrats have created the worst crime wave in decades. Senator Ron Johnson is standing with our brave law enforcement officers to keep Wisconsin families safe. And he wants to keep violent criminals behind bars where they belong.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We had a pretty nice Memorial Day weekend. That wasn't the case not too far out to the west. Take a look at the Doppler Track precipitation estimates over the last 3 days. Very little across southern Wisconsin. Just an isolated shower or thunderstorm Sunday afternoon that moved north of Madison and a few sprinkles on Saturday. Yesterday was mainly dry, but to the west you can see a lot of areas of 1 to 2 or more inches of rain. Some swaths of 3 or 4 inches of rain in some heavier thunderstorms through parts of North Dakota or South Dakota into Minnesota. And then not only that, they had a lot of severe weather, a lot of tornado reports, high wind reports, and hail reports stretching from north portions of Nebraska all the way up through the eastern Dakotas and through much of Minnesota. A few of them made it into Wisconsin, but notice nothing across southern Wisconsin. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk for an isolated severe thunderstorm yet this evening over southeastern Wisconsin, mainly from about Madison to the south and east. The higher severe weather threat, the slight risk or level 2 risk, is across northern Illinois. This is where the atmosphere is a little bit more unstable. We're waiting for a cold front to come through. Once the cold front comes through, that will pretty much put an end to the severe weather threat. And you can see there's really not much going on yet. We've had some cloud cover that's held temperatures down a bit, but now we're starting to get some sunshine. There's that narrow window of opportunity between the time the cold front comes through and the warming that we're having right now for any thunderstorms to develop. 3 things you need to know. Once the thunderstorm threat ends early this evening, look for cooler weather, high temperatures, lower 70s for tomorrow and probably through Friday as well. Then we'll see shower and thunderstorm chances return by Saturday afternoon into Sunday and Monday. And then next week looks to be cool and kind of showery. Temperatures only in the upper 60s to the lower 70s and rain chances every day, although several of the days probably little in the way of rain. Right now, temperatures are still in the 80s in southern Wisconsin, but you can tell that cold front just out to the north and west. Temperatures drop into the 60s by the time you get to the Twin Cities, 70s just to the north and west. Dew point temperatures also drop off right along the cold front as as well. They're in the 60s ahead of the front, behind the front. They drop off into the 50s. That dries out the air and also pretty much puts an end to the thunderstorm chances. So with the jet stream right overhead, the conditions are there for thunderstorms to develop, but again, there's just that narrow window of opportunity before the front comes through, and then the thunderstorm chances will come to an end. And then we're on the backside of the system. Here's the cold front I was talking about. Cooler weather starts moving in from the west, and that'll be in here for the rest of the week. The front right about through the Madison area right now. Temperatures around 80 in Madison to La Crosse, and then temperatures drop into the 70s and 60s farther to the north and west. On future track, you can see maybe a shower or thunderstorm popping up, mainly over southeastern Wisconsin during the evening hours. Then skies clear out overnight, and temperatures drop off into the middle 50s. So for tomorrow, look for skies to be partly sunny. It'll be a cooler day, high temperature topping out at 71 degrees. On future track, again, that narrow window of opportunity for something to pop up, mainly over southeastern Wisconsin this evening. Skies turn partly cloudy overnight, lows in the mid-50s. Lots of sunshine for tomorrow, highs in the lower 70s. Tomorrow night, there's an outside chance of a shower popping up. Low temperatures dropping into the mid-50s, and then look for high temperatures to be in the lower to middle 70s on Thursday with lots of sunshine, and Friday should be the same. But as we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, notice those temperatures mid-70s into the weekend, but the shower and thunderstorm chances come back on Saturday afternoon. They're with us for Sunday and Monday. Much of next week, there'll be daily chances for rain. Probably the least chances for rain would be on Tuesday. Chances on Wednesday and Friday. Best chances will probably be Monday and Thursday of next week, but, you know, not a washout, but still, you're going to need to keep an umbrella handy.
Give the AC a little break.
And give the AC a break, too.
Yeah. Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome.
Well, while some of us were out soaking up the sun, others spent part of their 3-day weekend inside an air-conditioned movie theater.
Will Loper is standing by to tell us how Top Gun Maverick did at the box office.
Hey, Mark and Susan. Top Gun Maverick soared to record-breaking heights, making over $156 million over the Memorial Day weekend. But should you gas up the jet and head to the theater to see it? It's been 36 years since Tom Cruise was Maverick and played volleyball shirtless on the beach. For perspective, 36 years before the original Top Gun is 1950, where movies like All About Eve were top at the box office.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Somehow, in that time frame, Tom Cruise has not aged.
It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
He returns in this sequel, now in charge of a group of cocky new pilots, including the son of Goose, Rooster, played by Miles Teller.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
In an effort to keep his promise to keep Rooster safe, Maverick is a little too protective, holding Rooster back from his full potential.
You think up there you're dead. Believe me.
My dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake.
Top Gun Maverick knows exactly the movie it is and nails every aspect it sets out to accomplish. It's got thrilling aerial sequences, a seemingly ageless Tom Cruise doing his Tom Cruise thing, needle drops, and yes, beach sports. This is the rare sequel that improves upon the original. You're going to want to take the highway to this danger zone. Over on streaming services, new on Hulu is the series Pistol.
With the right guidance, you could change the world.
Coming from director Danny Boyle, the 6-part miniseries follows the rise and fall of the punk band, the Sex Pistols, in the 70s.
Punk has taken London's youth by storm.
People's minds are too imprisoned. We want to destroy that so the future can emerge.
We're going to kick this country awake if it kills us.
New on HBO Max tomorrow is the film My Dead Dad.
Your dad left everything to you. All of the apartments are in your name.
What apartments? Your pops. He said you would be like this.
I haven't seen him in 10 years. Did he tell you that?
A young man inherits an apartment complex from his estranged father and plans to sell it until he meets the tenants and discovers his father isn't who he thought he was.
It's weird. I feel like everybody knew him except me.
Maybe it was his way to show you he loved you.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
New on Amazon Prime Friday is the 3rd season of The Boys.
There's something wrong with Homelander.
We meet back up with Huey and his ragtag group trying to take down heroes that aren't so heroic.
The gloves are off.
Thought we could fight God the right way, but we can't. It's all rigged. We have to do it your way.
And new on Netflix Friday is another season of Floor is Lava.
The only thing that's gonna hit that lava is my sweat.
The greatest competition show of our time finds various contestants jumping through an obstacle course and trying not to fall in lava.
Use that upper body strength that you don't have. Oh, okay,
I do the same thing every Wednesday in my living room.
We're the beauty. There's no brains here.
For Live at 4, I'm Will Lober.
Pretty funny.
It's the third season.
Yes, I know.
I missed the first one to catch up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. Coming up next year on Live at 4, Consumer Reports helps us pick out the best smart speakers on the market.
And then coming up next hour at 5, the state's Finance Committee unanimously voted to send $2 million to schools around Wisconsin. Our Naomi Coles has more at 5.
When the family can't get enough of your signature dish, get everything you need with Pick and Save free pickup with no surprise fees. So start your cart today. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
I'm Alex Lasry, a Democrat running to beat Senator Ron Johnson.
And I'm Lauren Lasry, and this is our daughter Eleanor. I know Alex will always fight for working families.
To get more money in the pockets of working people and lower costs.
By making paid leave available and healthcare more affordable.
And I'll always be a relentless supporter of a woman's right to choose.
Especially now. Alex is exactly the kind of ally Tammy Baldwin needs in the Senate.
So I approve this message because we have to do better than having Ron Johnson as our senator.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
Fur, you won't faze me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. So trees, you won't take me down. When allergies attack, take Allegra.
Before your symptoms take over you.
Live your greatness.
Okay, Floor & Decor, show me what you've got. This house says spa day all day, but this modern look is so me. How's that for on trend and on budget?
At Floor & Decor, with our high-quality selection at everyday low prices, your upgrade has never been more you. Explore Floor & Decor today.
With the Pick and Save app, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, all for prices that are lower than low. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now, winner of 18 awards of excellence from the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association, including Best Morning Newscast,
widespread damage across our viewing area this morning,
Best Evening Newscast.
A massive fire ensued, and you could see that smoke for miles around.
Best Investigative Story, and Best Significant Community Impact.
We'll continue to strive for excellence every day to bring you the area's best local news coverage. News 3 Now.
Given the weather, satellite a spin, end up in beautiful Seattle.
It was a beautiful day there, 64 degrees.
You don't get a lot of sunny days in Seattle.
Can you see Mount Rainier? I guess you got to swing the camera around. You can't tell.
Yeah, it's the other way. All right, many of us rely on our smart speakers for things like a quick weather forecast or that impossible math equation on your kids' homework.
They've come a long way since Amazon's Alexa first came on the scene.
Consumer Reports has some advice if you're ready to upgrade to the latest and greatest. Here's our Leah Linscheid.
Alexa, add milk to my shopping list.
Hey, Google, what's the weather forecast for today?
Alexa, is it time for an upgrade?
Smart speakers have changed a lot since the first Amazon Echo came out in 2014. Now they're more versatile, smarter, and better sounding than ever before. Sound quality is important if you love to listen to your music on your smart speaker. NCR says the second-generation Sonos One is among the best-sounding speakers in its ratings. And it's one of the few smart speakers that's compatible with both Amazon's Alexa and Google Assistant. If you'd prefer a smart speaker with a screen, the top performer is the Amazon Echo Show 10. It's great in the kitchen because you can use voice control instead of your dough-covered hands. However, it needs space, about the size of a beach ball, since the screen uses motion sensing technology to follow you around. Without that space, it could pose a safety hazard.
I put a bottle of cooking oil a little bit too close to it, and when I walked around, the screen actually knocked over the bottle of cooking oil.
If you don't have room to spare, CR suggests the second-generation Amazon Echo Show 8, which has a stationary base. If you prefer a Google smart speaker, the Google Nest Audio is a good option. Some users find its interface more natural and easier to use than Alexa. Its sound quality is better than earlier generations. If you're just looking for a smart speaker to listen to a podcast or the weather report, CR says you don't have to spend a lot.
Pretty much every smart speaker works the same. That's because the functionality isn't in the speaker itself. It's actually in the servers that are up in the cloud.
For that, Consumer Reports suggests the fourth-generation Amazon Echo Dot. For News 3 Now, this is Leah Lynchide.
I don't know about that thing following you around the house. What do you think about that?
A little creepy.
Yeah. One thing to keep in mind, Consumer Reports says many smart speakers can be paired to better sounding wireless speakers that you may already have.
That's what I do.
Save a couple bucks, yeah.
All right, still to come at 4 cases of COVID, and hospitalizations are going up all over the country.
We'll find out why this is happening during a time when more and more people are outside. UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff joins us when Live at 4 continues.
If you have COPD, ask your doctor about Breztri. Breztri gives me better breathing and helps prevent flare-ups. Before Breztri, I was stuck in the past. I still had bad days. Flare-ups, which kept me from doing what I love. My doctor said, for my COPD, it was time for Breztri. Breztri gives you better breathing, symptom improvement, and helps prevent flare-ups. Like no other COPD medicine, Breztri was proven to reduce flare-ups by 52%.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
Can't afford your medication? AstraZeneca may be able to help. If you have COPD, ask your doctor about Breztri.
Is price inflation costing you way more now for food, shelter, and basic expenses? Is paying credit cards and high debt now getting harder? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Call Geraci Law to see about Chapter 7 or 13 to eliminate or consolidate as low as $275 a month. On your phone, from your home, or old school in person. $0 down to start. Hit the debt-free button. Click or call now.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
He has his grandfather's smile.
Her mother's eyes.
My cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease.
Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
When we needed new doors and windows for our home, we were looking for someone we could trust.
We've done the bargain brand windows. We've done the runaround.
What we loved about Next Door and Window is that they were different. The experts guided us through every step of their no-pressure process.
We really loved their educational approach. Next Door and Window helped us understand what was right for us.
They have a totally different approach to doors and windows. They made the window and door replacement process simple.
Call 844-600-NEXT to get 50% off your installation.
Well, as we take a look at first warrant traffic, here's the view of the Beltline at Park Street and the eastbound Beltline. Very slow right now. There's a traffic accident that was reported right around Southtown Drive, and that is backing up traffic eastbound on the Beltline from there all the way back to Verona Road. Seeing some delays westbound around there as well. As far as traffic times are concerned, about a 25-minute commute on the eastbound Beltline from University Avenue to I-3990. About 17 minutes going back in the westbound direction. Heading out of Madison, no problems. 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. 16 minutes from Middleton to Sauk City on US 12. Downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151 will take you 18 minutes. That's your news through now. First warrant traffic.
Gary, thank you. A miniature display of the royal family, including a Lego replica of the Queen, which took 15 hours to build, has been unveiled at Legoland, Windsor, to mark the Platinum Jubilee. These stories just keep coming.
I was just going to say that.
The Prince of Wales, the Duchess of Cornwall, and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, with their 3 children, are also featured in the exhibit. The display took model makers around 282 hours to build, using more than 18,000 individual bricks.
Where do they have that set up?
At the Legoland in Windsor.
Oh, okay, great, great. What a party it's going to be.
It's going to be a party.
Yes.
Well, COVID cases and hospitalizations are rising again in some parts of the country. Dane County remains in the medium category of transmission.
A lot of people are understandably asking, what can we do now to minimize the virus in the summer weeks ahead with everybody traveling and gathering?
UW Health's Chief Quality Officer, Dr. Jeff Potoff, is here once again for his weekly visit. Welcome back.
Hi, Dr. Potoff.
Good to see you guys.
So, how are we doing in Dane County?
You know, we're holding steady, and if anything, if you look at Dane County, the state, cases seem to be leveling off. A little too early to say that we're going to go on a downward trend, but at least the trend isn't going up like it was.
So do we know that for sure? Because so many people are testing at home and not reporting it.
Right, so I think true, those numbers are underrepresentations, but if we have about the same number of people testing at home as we did, a few weeks ago, it would at least be a fair representative sample of what's going on. Right now, we kind of are at that peak, so not unexpected that a lot of us know people right now who have COVID. There's a lot of COVID out there. Thankfully, it's not converting to severe disease at the same rate as it did before, either with the Omicron surge or the Delta surge.
And you hear people have both doses of the shot and both booster shots, and they're still contracting the disease.
Yeah, what we lost with Omicron, really Omicron, a little bit with Delta, was this ability for vaccination or boosters to prevent any symptoms at all. Early on, it was really incredible, like 94% a likelihood of not having any symptoms at all if you came in contact with original COVID-19. Now, when you get vaccinated, that 2 weeks later, when that immunity is at its top level, about 80%, so not bad, but it quickly fades. 3-4 weeks later, maybe you've got 30% chance of no symptoms at all. The good news is, the silver lining there is that you're still really well protected against severe disease. So even though we know people who've been vaccinated, who've been boosted, who come down with COVID, they have COVID symptoms, the likelihood of those people ending up really sick in a hospital is actually pretty low.
Do you think we should be testing more frequently and more proactively? For example, if you know you're going to go to a party and you're going to be indoors with people, should you be testing yourself before and after a gathering like that?
I think if you're really trying to look out for your community or make sure that you're not the person who infects someone who doesn't do that very well if they get severe COVID, that's not a bad idea, especially with the easy availability of home tests, antigen tests, to say, hey, I really want to go to this event. It's indoors. There's going to be a lot of people there, but I don't want to be that person who spreads the disease around. If you're to do an antigen test before you go, that gives you some reassurance that you're not going to be that person who, unexpectedly, maybe you don't have symptoms, is going to take COVID to that party, infect other people who may not do so well.
So I'm at home, and let's say I'm not feeling well, and I take a test and I'm positive. What do I do then?
Yeah, so at that point, irrespective if it's an antigen test or a PCR test, when you're positive and you have symptoms, you likely have COVID. In that situation, you want to then isolate so you don't spread it to other people. So if you can, you pick a room in your house. You try to keep yourself away from other folks in that building or in that house, and then you want to isolate for about 5 days. So stay out of public, things like that. After that, the recommendation recommendation is, see if you can turn an antigen test negative. If 5 days into it, you feel completely fine, your fever's gone, and now you're negative on an antigen test, there's still a slight chance you could transmit the disease, but it's pretty low. Those folks, put a mask on for the next 5 days, you can probably get out there.
Should you call your doctor to get the antiviral?
Absolutely. So if you are at high risk for severe COVID, i.e. you're unvaccinated and you have some risk factors, maybe you're obese, you have diabetes, maybe you've got some underlying medical conditions, and it's within those 5 days, if you can get a prescription for Paxlovid, you reduce the chance of having severe disease by about 80%. So definitely we're talking to your doctor to see if you qualify for Paxlovid if you test positive.
If you take an antigen test and you test positive, do you still need to get a PCR test, or you can...
You're good. So with the antigen test, if you're positive, you're positive. Now, an antigen test, you're negative, but you feel like you have COVID, then you need to get the PCR test. Because sometimes that antigen test early on gives you a false negative.
Have we had any more research into long haulers?
Well, there's some new information coming out from studies that say up to 1 in 5 people may experience long haul symptoms. Now, some of those folks will have more severe symptoms. They may have persistent loss of taste and smell. Some of those people may have more mild symptoms, but they may say, hey, you know what, I'm fatigued. It's been 3 months since I had COVID, and I just don't have all my energy back. That's a little bit worrisome that it could be 1 in 5 people. And the more worrisome thing is we don't know how long that's going to last. Some people have had these things for 2 years. Does this ever go away? Will we figure this out? That's a good area for medical study in the next couple of years.
Do we know how many times you can get COVID?
No, I don't think we want to be the guinea pig for that either. But with other coronaviruses, reinfection is not uncommon. So I think what we'll see is as the virus mutates and we have different variants, we'll have different levels of susceptibility based on previous infections, immunization status, how often we're getting boosted. But reinfection with COVID, I don't think is something that's going to go away.
And what happens this fall? Do we get another vaccine?
I think so. So I don't want to, I'm not clairvoyant, but I think at the FDA meeting in mid-June, they're going to look at not only those 6-month to 5-year-old vaccines, but I think they're going to look at a national vaccine strategy that looks at those of us who are not over the age of 50, who maybe will be due for a second booster, and hopefully give us some guidance as to what we can look for going into the fall. What do we need as far as COVID vaccinations? When do we get those? Will it be at the same time as flu? Maybe so. And give us some idea of what that's going to look like going into the fall.
But quickly, do you think parents should get their kids boosted now, kids that are eligible, or wait? For the fall?
I would say get them boosted now because cases are actually pretty high right now. We can avoid those kids getting sick, being out of their summer activities, having any long haul symptoms. That's not to say that there might not be a booster for them sometime down the road, whether it'll be this fall or a little bit later. Hard to say that, but I'd get them boosted now.
Ever-changing landscape.
Yes.
Jeff, good to see you again. See you next week.
Thanks, Dr. Jeff. Good to see you.
The final check of your forecast coming up.
If you have type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure, you're a target for chronic kidney disease. You can already have it and not know it. If you have chronic kidney disease, your kidney health could depend on what you do today. Farxiga is a pill that works in the kidneys to help slow the progression of chronic kidney disease. Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in women and men, and low blood sugar. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may lead to death. A rare, life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis. And don't take it if you are on dialysis. Take aim at chronic kidney disease by talking to your doctor and asking about Farxiga. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Farxiga. Violent and destructive riots in Kenosha. The Waukesha Christmas Parade tragedy. Record-high homicides in Milwaukee. From defunding our police to releasing violent felons with low or no bail. Liberal Democrats have created the worst crime wave in decades. Senator Ron Johnson is standing with our brave law enforcement officers to keep Wisconsin families safe. And he wants to keep violent criminals behind bars where they belong.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salonpas.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salonpas, it's good medicine.
News 3 Now is always on.
Download the Channel 3000 app and we will send you local breaking news as it happens.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
Need emergency weather alerts before conditions turn bad? Download the First Warn Weather app right now. Turn on notifications and I'll alert you when severe weather threatens. The First Warn Weather app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
Looking at Doppler Track, nothing appears imminent, at least for the time being, for southern Wisconsin. It's possible we could see a shower or thunderstorm pop up early this evening. Temperatures right now in the lower 80s here, 70s already out toward Prairie du Chien. Dew point temperatures are in the 60s. Once those dew point temperatures drop later on this evening, the threat for rain will come to an end.
All right, Gary, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, you go behind the wheel with our Harvey Briggs in a true sports car.
We'll check out the 2023 Nissan Z. It is the first new Z car in 8 years. Buckle up and hang on. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
My dad told me he's back into old hobbies, but it looks like he's picked up new habits for his type 2 diabetes too.
Once weekly Trulicity is proven to help lower A1C, and it can help you lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
Since I left for college, my dad has gotten back into some of his old hobbies. And now he's taking Trulicity. And it looks like he's gotten into some new, healthier habits too.
What changes are you making for your type 2 diabetes? Maybe it's time to try Trulicity. It's proven to help lower A1C. It could help you lose up to 10 pounds. And it's only taken once a week, so it can fit into your busy life. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. The choices you make can help control your A1C. Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
I'm Alex Lasry, a Democrat running to beat Senator Ron Johnson.
And I'm Lauren Lasry, and this is our daughter Eleanor. I know Alex will always fight for working families.
To get more money in the pockets of working people and lower costs.
By making paid leave available and healthcare more affordable.
And I'll always be a relentless supporter of a woman's right to choose.
Especially now. Alex is exactly the kind of ally Tammy Baldwin needs in the Senate.
So I approve this message because we have to do better than having Ron Johnson as our senator.
Patio doors, patio doors. Scott the window guy can do patio doors. Scott the window guy can do patio doors.
We do patio doors. That's ScottTheWindowGuy.com.
In today's Final Touch, all aboard.
Through tunnels and railway stations and green landscapes, some new trains are making a scenic but miniature journey. A giant model railway that whisks travelers through Germany, Austria, and Italy is now open to visitors in a converted movie theater in Florence. The model railway covers almost 1,000 square feet. The intricately detailed installation is the largest model train display in Europe. The trains move between mountain and sea sceneries amid lights, music, and projections. The model is a true work in progress, continuously updated and set in a space that mixes reality and imagination. The locations the trains run through actually exist and have transformed into a fantasy landscape. You know, I had a model train set up when I was growing up. Nothing like that.
They raised the bar pretty high.
Size of that.
Yeah.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.